Australian Oscar Piastri is ready to sub in for his countryman Daniel Ricciardo, while Martin Brundle eyes up the 2022 grid. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our official home on unbeaten.com. Alpine reserve driver Oscar Piastri could yet make his Grand Prix debut in Bahrain if his countryman Daniel Ricciardo is not well enough to start. Ricciardo tested positive for COVID-19 last Wednesday, a day before the start of the second preseason test, so failed to take part, with teammate Lando Norris completing all 200 laps. The Australian is set to exit isolation before this weekend's opening race, but Piastri will replace Ricciardo should he not provide a negative PCR test after a deal was struck between Alpine and McLaren. Better this week than next. Unfortunate to miss the test, but I'm starting to feel better, Ricciardo tweeted last week. Sky Sports F1 commentator Martin Brundle says that the sport's headline battle will likely be between Red Bull Racing and Ferrari, at least during 2022's opening races. Red Bull finished the second Bahrain test fastest, with Max Verstappen on top of the timesheets with a series of effective upgrades. But Brundle says Ferrari is hot on its heels. Red Bull has got a race on its hands with Ferrari, he said. That's a front runner, that's a contender, no doubt about it. Brundle says Mercedes is right to feel it's F1's third fastest team, with the W13 looking a handful and with continued porpoising. Kevin Magnussen has rejoiced in his return to F1, having replaced Nikita Mazepin at Haas on a multi-year race contract, stating he didn't know he missed the sport that much. The 29-year-old left F1 at the end of 2020 when he and then teammate Romain Grosjean were replaced at the American squad by two rookies in Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. Magnussen had a full program last year, including Le Mans, IndyCar with McLaren at Road America, and a full season of IMSA with Chip Ganassi, including a win in Detroit. But while the Dane had said he was focused on victories in his post-F1 career, a call from Haas's Günther Steiner changed all that. When Günther called me, I said yes immediately. Then I thought, should I have said yes? Was that clever? And then very quickly after that, I was like, yes, I have got to do this. It's too exciting. Pierre Gasly is on a mission for a race-winning drive in F1, but Red Bull's chance to return him to its top team is running out, with his contract done at the end of the 2023 season. Gasly was dropped from Red Bull's top team after just 12 races in 2019, unable to match Top Gun teammate Max Verstappen, but shone upon his return to Toro Rosso turned AlphaTauri with a highly emotional win at the Italian Grand Prix in 2020. He was passed over for a return to the top squad last year, with Red Bull instead selecting outsider Sergio Perez. Gasly, though, knows there are options beyond Milton Keynes for 2024. All my career before F1, I fought for victories, poles, championships, and that's the only reason I work so hard in F1, because I want to be at the forefront and fight for a championship title. For that, you need the team and car, he said. IndyCar driver Colton Herta has his sights locked on F1 with a McLaren test in the squad's 2021 car planned for later in the season. Herta, who races for Andretti Autosport, is America's next F1 hope, with his squad pushing to become the sport's 11th outfit. The 21-year-old started in USF 2000 before moving to the UK and MSA Formula, now British F4. He moved to F3 in 2016, but was too young for the opening round at just 14, forcing a Euroformula campaign. Herta, the son of IndyCar team owner and former racer Brian, returned to the USA and Indy Lights from 2017 and joined the main game 2 years later, where he has since notched up 6 wins. But Herta feels destined to race again in Europe. A full-time Formula One driver is totally the goal that hopefully I can reach one day. Would be awesome, he said. Not just for me, but for the country and for all the IndyCar fans to kind of push behind. Herta was 4th in the season-opening IndyCar race at St. Petersburg. Nikita Mazepin has continued his crusade in the aftermath of his sacking from Haas F1 team, with the 23-year-old creating his own foundation to support other Russian athletes that have been similarly affected by his nation's invasion of Ukraine. Mazepin says he was given no notice before his contract was terminated earlier this month, despite the FIA's ruling that Russian drivers could still compete under its own neutral flag. But he's since created the foundation titled We Compete as One, with the name alone poking fun at F1's own inclusivity initiative, We Race as One. The foundation will provide various support measures.
We will be providing jobs, financial support, psychological and legal aid in case the athletes wish to debate their position.
Mazepin and his billionaire father Dmitry, who's described as a member of the closest circle of Vladimir Putin, have since been included on an EU list of sanctioned individuals. F1's Russian retreat rolls on as a response to the nation's brutal invasion of Ukraine, with the sport last week terminating its broadcasting deal with state-owned channel Match TV. F1 already cancelled its Russian Grand Prix deal with Sochi Autodrome to ensure the nation does not have a race in future, while Haas terminated contracts with Uralkali and Nikita Mazepin. F1 also blocked Russia's access to its streaming service F1 TV, while the official game F1 2021 will also not be available there. Elsewhere in F1, Ferrari paused its sponsorship deal with Russian cybersecurity and antivirus provider Kaspersky. The Scuderia is yet to make a decision on its Russian test driver Robert Schwartzman. New Alpine team boss Otmar Szafnauer says it was better for all parties that he left Aston Martin over the European winter. Szafnauer joined then Force India in 2009 and became its team principal from 2018. But the writing looked to be very much on the wall after Aston Martin owner Lawrence Stroll recruited Martin Whitmarsh, the former McLaren team principal, who was installed as Group CEO of Aston Martin Performance Technologies. As time moved on and things changed at Aston Martin, I thought it was better for all parties that I looked elsewhere, Szafnauer said. Szafnauer has since been coming up to speed at Alpine's Enstone base, formerly Renault's, with lots of familiar faces from his past in the sport. Italian businessman Flavio Briatore has returned to F1 after more than a decade away to grow the sport and relationships with partners and promoters. Briatore, 71, was booted from F1 in 2009, given his part in the Crashgate scandal at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, where Nelson Piquet Jr. deliberately crashed to help Fernando Alonso win. The FIA handed Briatore a lifetime ban, but it was overturned. Before the scandal, the Italian led Michael Schumacher and Alonso to back-to-back crowns at Benetton and Renault. Flavio Briatore, in his capacity as a long-serving ambassador for Formula One, will continue to support us in building our relationships with existing and potential promoters and partners. and develop commercial and entertainment collaborations as we continue to grow this incredible sport, said the statement. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.